Antigravity has made it completely free to build powerful AI apps that look stunning, work well, and are easy to sell. I have worked with Cursor, Claude Code, and other AI code editors, and none of them compared to Antigravity. I mean, it's literally free. By the end of this video, you will know how to set up Antigravity, build a stunning UI with powerful functionality, add user authentication and login systems, and add Stripe so you can get paid. Alright, so first head over to antigravity.google/download. Then download whatever package works for your OS. So in my case, we use Apple Silicon. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and open it up, Antigravity. This is the welcome screen. So we can start fresh. Do, let's say, Tokyo Night. You want to do agent, you can do review-driven development, you can also do agent-driven development. Your custom configuration, secure mode. I just go with what's recommended. No need to get complicated right now. Again, just go with whatever they give you and sign in with Google. And once you signed in, you'll get the successfully authenticated URL. You go back to here, accept the terms of use, and boom, now you have everything up. So let's dismiss this. Let's drag this a little bit over here. And now let's go ahead and start. You're going to build a simple task manager app that will allow us to make sure we're productive every single day. So we're going to get that description to Antigravity, and it'll plan out an entire implementation for us. So this is a prompt I gave it. I want to build a task manager app that utilizes Kanban boards, ability to group tasks together, and create subtasks. Also have drag and drop functionality. So it's pretty straightforward. We're going to click enter. We're going to let Antigravity plan for us. See, it moves pretty quickly compared to some of the other AI models. That's just Gemini 3 Pro High in a nutshell. And here's a task manager app checklist, so you can see exactly what it's going to be doing. This helps a lot because you can review, add a comment as needed. And for anyone who doesn't know how to code, this is like an employee walking you through their design process, so you can stop them at any point. And you don't need to know how to code anymore, which is perfect. And here's the implementation plan right here, the official one. Right, we have the tasks here, implementation plan right here. It looks good. I mean, I trust the Gemini. Click proceed, and it'll go ahead and proceed with this implementation plan. At this point, it's going to ask you accept or deny a couple of tasks like this, for example. Just run the command. No need to worry about whether it's going to crash, because if it does crash, it's going to fix itself. You can see right here, just added the node modules and some of the JSON files. Click accept again. And yeah, just let it work as magic. All right, so Antigravity has built out the app, and you can see all the different files is added right here as well. It's giving us the to-do on how to actually run the app. So you want npm run dev in our terminal. They're clicking new terminal. And let it load. While it's loading, oh, there you go. Whoa, all right. This looks really weird. Why is it like that? So it has a task and whatnot, but yeah, it's looking very not good. So what we're gonna do is definitely make some changes. But first, we're gonna open Agent Manager. So Agent Manager is like another view of that Google Antigravity offers. And you can essentially run multiple agents at the same time. It's kind of weird how it has this split, whereas Cursor, Claude Code, it's all in one view. And I do wish that everything was in one view, but it's okay. It's not too complicated or anything like that. It's just like another way to look at things. You can consider it like that. You could also open browser preview here. You can open like a terminal. So it's pretty helpful in that sense. All right, so we're gonna have go fast mode, Gemini 3 Pro. We're gonna let Antigravity know the dashboard looks horrible. Better design. All right. Click go. We were very honest with Antigravity because no point hiding this, right? I mean, if it's a shit, then let her know that shit. Okay, so now we can see everything we edited. And I prefer the agent view for this limited amount of time and use Antigravity. I've been using agent view much more than this view. Here we go. I found out the real issue. It was a grid all along. And it's planned, it account for the proper sizing of things. It's why we got this mess. Now it's fixed, so it should look way better. All right, so it looks like everything is done. Let's refresh this. Okay, nothing's changing. Oh wait, hold up. So one thing you want to be careful about, notice how this is 5175. This says 5174. So make sure whichever URL you're using, it's the updated one. So we click this. Look at that. That looks way better. Oh my God, 1,000 times better. This is amazing. All right, it has a bunch of dummy data, status breakdowns to go to the dashboard. Nice, has a nice animation. Go to tasks. Is this, okay, does this work? Review, okay, nice. This is almost like a one-shot prompt right here. Here, let's create a new task. Finish YouTube video. I am creating a YouTube video for my wonderful audience. Priority is high. You guys are important to me, so be sure to subscribe. Create a task. Yeah, you can drag it in progress. Nice. And delete. Delete this task. Okay. Review. Let's go to dashboard. Total task completed are 2, so we make it 3. This should update. Nice. Dynamically updates. That's pretty good. That is actually very good for a one-shot prompt. Now, obviously, you can make this much better and make it look way cooler. But for a very standard task manager, it's nice. We can definitely make some changes, but to keep things simple, let's go ahead and add a database so you can actually onboard users and maybe, tell your friends to hop on your app. So we're gonna go back to Google Antigravity. We're gonna say, let's add authentication via Supabase. And Supabase is one of the best platforms when it comes to database authentication, so let's do that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so now we're gonna have it add authentication in Supabase, and it's probably gonna ask us information like API keys and whatnot. So just re-enter that here. Okay, let's see it work. While Antigravity is cooking, we're going to go ahead and set up our Supabase. So go ahead and make an account and log in. Click New Project. We're gonna enter these details. This is our information for our project. Click Create New Project. So now we're gonna go Database. We'll go Project Settings. The project ID is important. Make sure to keep that open. The Data API. All right, this is the main part. We're going to copy this URL and give it to Antigravity. Let's see where it is. All right, let's install Supabase. All right, so we're gonna copy the URL. Here is the Supabase URL. And then we're also going to need to hit API keys and copy the publishable key. This right here. And then paste that as well. So here is the publishable key. Now don't send this prompt yet. Let Antigravity finish with what it's currently doing, and once it's done, then we'll go ahead and pass the information in. Okay, here you go. This is the environment example. If you look at this right here, it's exactly what we talked about earlier, the Supabase anonymous key and the URL. So we're gonna go ahead and add that after it does this. Let's click this. So we here build our project, but there's no point right now. Let's go ahead and enter this stuff. And with this information, okay, let's click we can click accept for now. Here, let's let it build, and then it'll queue up our next. There you go. So we have continue with Google, but we don't have that enabled in Supabase. We don't want to continue with Google. We want to do email password. So let's go ahead and let her know. Login should be via email and password. Okay, so everything is updated. So now we can go ahead and Click sign up. Input our email to create our account. Let's go sign in. Okay, so now that I have to confirm my email, to make testing easier, we're actually gonna go Supabase, click sign in providers, and toggle this so you do not have to confirm your email anymore. Let it wait. And if you go to users, you see that the email is added, but waiting for verification. So let me go ahead and actually delete this from Supabase. I deleted that, and now we're gonna sign up again. There you go, and now we're in, just like that. A beautiful part of Supabase, am I right? There's a logout option right here, so click that. Now I'm logged out. Here's test a sign in, so you just want to sign back in. Sign in. There you go, all good. Your tasks, they're the same tasks that I've been here for a while now. Cool. So we have authentication set up, and now we are actually going to get paid. And to do that, we have to add Stripe. So let's go ahead and do that. So now to get paid, we have to add some sort of paywall. So users will have to pay to use our app. To do that, we just let Antigravity know, let's add Stripe. So users have to pay to use the app. Can add a new task until they have paid. Cool. So we entered that. It's gonna set up the entire shell of creating a payment via Stripe, the payment link, and then we're going to give it our API key so it can actually link our Stripe with the app so we can get paid. All right, now Stripe has finished adding what it needs to, and you see right here, we scroll up, it has a publishable key placeholder. So what you have to do is you have to go to Stripe. It's right here. And you have to find your publishable key, which is right here, and you have to copy it and give it to Antigravity. Okay, we have everything updated, but now the next step is to give a real payment link URL, right? To URL. Okay, so we have to add a payment link on our Stripe dashboard. So I have a bunch of payment links already. I'm probably just gonna copy any one of them, like this $1 one, and give it to Antigravity. I give the payment link, and it will go ahead and update that for us. $1 payment link. Of course, for your app, you can make it way more expensive. Charge $17 a month, maybe $17 one time, whatever the case may be. Honestly, for your first app, nothing wrong with having it be a one-time fee. Like you purchase it once, and the user keeps it forever, and you're happy with that. Okay, so we have it being built, update, payment redirection, code cleanup, email pre-fill, perfect. Let's turn back on my website, placement Stripe events, approaching user management, Supabase. Okay, so the only thing that needs to be updated is when the user pays, they should be listed as pro. You gotta activate this. Basically, we're telling Antigravity, please fix this for us so we don't have to do it ourselves. All right, all the changes are made, and so is the webhook. So now, if we go to our dashboard and maybe refresh it, this is the account that we were on, the RV business one. If you go to dashboard, tasks, so there, settings, you see a current plan, free plan is a current plan. There's an upgrade option. You can save your changes. Okay, so right now it's like only a theme of dark is working, that's fine. Cool, so let's see if we can create a new task. We shouldn't be able to because, again, we haven't paid yet, so we click new task. Nice, upgrade to pro, and then we click subscribe via Stripe, and it takes us to the payment link. Nice, so let's go ahead and go back. Now let's go to settings, let's try upgrade right here. Upgrader Pro. So we are now able to accept payments, set up users, and actually move tasks around and create new tasks. And it's very simple. And this is how you create an app completely from scratch for absolutely free. Antigravity is sick. If you want to see how I built and sold an app completely from scratch, watch this video next.